What's up, Razmanites? You got the Razman here for Geeky.com and YouTube, and of course, it's time for the WrestleMania XXVIII review. Today, on the Razman's Reality. I apologize if this image looks distorted at all. This shirt is way too big on me, but it was laundry day, and it was all I had. Also, I apologize if you hear any background noise because my nephew is here. My sister's apartment was unfortunately flooded. And lastly, I apologize if you see a bunch of jump cuts in this review because I have the internet open on WrestleZone just in case I forget the order, since in my situation I'm not able to do this until the next morning. Unfortunately, we have to start it off on a bad note. First match of the night was Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I don't have a problem with. I said it in my final thoughts video. That was the one match that I thought maybe could have made sense for it to be a lead-off match. My issue was, of course, other than Chris Jericho and CM Punk, which I wanted to see for the reasons that I gave. My issue with it, of course, is what actually happened in the matchup. Daniel Bryan goes to get his good luck kiss from AJ, and as soon as he gets done kissing AJ, bro kick, 1, 2, 3, 18-second, new World Heavyweight Champion, Sheamus. Now, my problem isn't Sheamus going over here, because as much as we all love Daniel Bryan, eventually he was going to have to re-chase the title. So, I'm not surprised that that happened, but I am shocked and appalled that WWE would have Daniel Bryan, in essence, get buried for backstage reason, reportedly because they wanted to set a record for shortest title match. As if this WrestleMania didn't already have enough going on for it, you think you have to set the record for shortest title match. Just a huge disappointment there. And Daniel Bryan better look dang good chasing Sheamus, and he better actually get the world title back very, very soon. Otherwise, if I'm Daniel Bryan, I tell WWE to go straight to you-know-where, because that was completely ridiculous. And look how over Daniel Bryan was last night. So many yes, yes, yes signs in the crowd. It was just a huge disappointment. So bad for Bryan Danielson and Daniel Bryan. Alright, next up, Randy Orton versus Kane. It was actually a really good match, which shouldn't surprise anybody. It's just got overshadowed by the horrible amount of build that this match got. But yeah, really good match, actually. And Kane gets the victory with a choke slam off the top rope. Like I said on Twitter last night, choke slam from hell took on a whole new meaning. Kane is your winner here. Up we get a ridiculous backstage segment with Santino, Mick Foley, and a guy from Deadliest Catch. I have no idea what the point of this was. Completely filler. It was cool to see Ron Simmons come out and say damn on the day after he is inducted in the Hall of Fame. I guess that was the reason why they did it, but still really stupid. Next up, Intercontinental Championship, Big Show versus Cody Rhodes. A lot better match than I actually thought it was going to be. Anytime you get a big guy versus an athletic guy, you guys know, anybody that's followed my videos for a long time knows that I am not a fan of that, because I think an athletic guy needs to set off a big guy, yes, but at the same time, when that guy is so much smaller than the guy he's in the ring with, and the guy he's in the ring with is a real slow mover, it just doesn't make for a very good match, usually. But this one was really surprising, and actually one of the better Big Show matches I've seen in a long time. Still don't like the result, though, which is the Big Show is your new Intercontinental Champion, making him one of the few Grand Slam winners, and the first one we've seen in a long, long time. Nonetheless, though, I don't like Cody Rhodes getting a loss at WrestleMania after the year he had, and as I said on Twitter last night, it better lead to Cody Rhodes being in the world title picture now. That's the only justification for it, in my opinion. Next up, Maria Menounos and Kelly versus Beth Phoenix and Eve. Not the way I wanted this one to go, but not a real surprise. Maria Menounos and Kelly get the victory here, and apparently Maria Menounos was legitimately injured off the things that happened on Extra and Dancing with the Stars, so she did put on a courageous effort, and you could see that she was in a lot of pain during the match, because I don't think in her case it was her acting. So for what it was a Divas match. It was, 5-10 minutes long, which is the most you can hope for a Divas match at WrestleMania. Pretty good, but not anything worth talking about, really. It was, believe it or not, the end of an era. Undertaker versus Triple H inside Hell in a Cell, and my God, I just, seriously, I don't know how to put it into words. I said it on Twitter last night. There will never be another two guys like Undertaker and Triple H ever again. There's just no words for what we witnessed in that match. So many false finishes, so much blood, so much emotion. Shawn Michaels did what he should have done. He called it right down the middle, was trying to call it right down the middle the whole time. Undertaker, at early points in the match, was very, very beaten down and very, very worn out, and there was a point when it looked like Shawn Michaels was going to stop the matchup, and then Undertaker puts Shawn Michaels in Hell's Gate, which causes Shawn Michaels to get frustrated. He sweet chin music's Undertaker. Triple H hits a pedigree, and Undertaker still kicks out of a sweet chin music and a pedigree. And in the end, we saw, I think, 2 pedigrees and 2 tombstones, or it might have been 3 pedigrees and 2 tombstones. I honestly lost track. It's just so hard to describe Hell in a Cell. If you don't see Hell in a Cell, you can't put it into words. So, if for any reason you weren't able to be a witness to this amazing moment, get the Blu-ray or DVD the day when it comes out, because this is just, oh my God, such an amazing thing to witness. And I gotta pause here and give a shout out to one of my best friends in the whole world, Jamie Loves Taker, because I know the emotion that she's gotta be feeling after what we saw last night, and especially when you couple that with the fact that Triple H was the one this year who couldn't get up after the exhaustion he felt, and the respect that Shawn Michaels and Undertaker showed Triple H by helping Triple H up, and all 3 of them walked out of the arena together, and there was a moment where they turned around and looked at the crowd, all 3 of them standing there, and everybody deservingly giving a standing ovation. That moment truly makes me feel like perhaps Undertaker and Triple H are both done. Perhaps that really was what they meant by end of an era. This whole time, I personally felt like end of an era maybe just meant the fact that we are going to see Undertaker and Triple H never face off again, or maybe just Triple H retiring. But I don't know, after last night, maybe it was the end of both. And if that was the end of both, there couldn't have been a better way for them to go out. It was an absolutely amazing moment. Undertaker 20-0. God bless Undertaker. God bless Triple H. Just an unfreaking believable matchup. I want to thank, again, Jamie Loves Taker for retweeting all my tweets last night. I want to thank all of you out there in the WWE Universe who I never met before that retweeted my tweets last night. It was such a cool deal for me because in my situation I rarely ever get to watch a pay-per-view actually on Sunday. All my pay-per-view watching is usually on a Monday. So that was the first big pay-per-view since the Twitter explosion. Really, well, first pay-per-view since last year, but this was definitely the first pay-per-view since Twitter got on the level that it is for the WWE Universe that I was able to do that, so it was a really cool thing. So thanks to everybody, and if you're new to Twitter, make sure you get new to Facebook as well. Link to the Facebook down below in the description box. But yeah, Hell in a Cell, I can't say enough about it. I'm sure I will say more about it. We're going to do a reaction show on the Razzman's Reality Radio Show later today, so I will try to find more words about it, but I'm literally just at a loss for words. Just an amazing match, and match of the year by far. As good as the two matches that we've yet to talk about, the two main events. All three main events really lived up to their hype. Hell in a Cell, Taker versus Triple H. There was blood. I mean, it was just everything old school. It really did make it feel like the end of an era, and I have so much emotion still talking about it. I was almost in tears at the end of the match, and I'm not ashamed to admit it because wrestling fans understand what it means to witness something like that. So, yeah, just an unbelievable moment right there. Undertaker and Triple H inside Hell in a Cell. Next up, Team Johnny versus Team Teddy. Team Johnny gets the victory here with The Miz getting the pinfall over Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder looks like he's going to go for the win. Eve accompanies him to the ring, and she does the woo-woo-woo thing with him as he's about to go for the bro kick, which enables a distraction from the referee of trying to get her out of the ring, which enables The Miz to hit the skull-crushing finale for the victory. Afterwards, Eve hits Zack Ryder in his balls, signifying that Eve has been messing with Zack Ryder like we all knew this whole time. Not a bad ending for the obligatory entrance match at WrestleMania at all. So John Laurinaitis supposedly is the GM of all of WWE, but I called it on the radio show. I called it in a comment on my video, my final thoughts video. I'm going to say it here in this video. I believe we're going to see something with Mick Foley tonight on Raw. I believe there's going to be a thing from the board of directors because the controversy of the ending that names Mick Foley GM, and then there's going to be a war between Mick Foley and John Laurinaitis for control. Next up, WWE Championship, Chris Jericho versus CM Punk, who on the night of WrestleMania earned the right to call themselves the best in the world. The answer, the straight edge savior, CM Punk. And it was an absolutely amazing match. Had it not been placed after Taker versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell, you could make an argument for it being match of the year. A lot of false finishes in this one. Chris Jericho at one point had CM Punk in the real walls of Jericho, and if you don't know what I mean, look it up. Truly an amazing mark-out moment for me, being one of the biggest Jerichoholics alive. it was an amazing, amazing matchup. In the end, after several attempts at a GTS and a couple of attempts at the Anaconda Vice, CM Punk actually locks in the Anaconda Vice to a point where Chris Jericho can't get out of it. And as I said, CM Punk retains the WWE title. I, for whatever reason, still believe, even though Chris Jericho didn't win last night, which I am a little bit surprised by because I believe this. I don't believe this feud is over. I think that it's going to continue at Extreme Rules in Chicago, CM Punk's hometown. But after what we saw with The Miz last night gaining the victory for Team Johnny, and Johnny supposedly being GM if he stays in control, maybe he uses power to give Miz the big favor of being the new #1 contender for the WWE title, but I don't think we're going to see that yet. If we see it, I still think there's unfinished business between Jericho and Punk, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But I can't get over the fact that Chris Jericho came back before the Royal Rumble, and he's lost the Royal Rumble, lost Elimination Chamber, lost at WrestleMania. You know, not that it should be about this, but Chris Jericho is one of the greatest superstars of all time. He deserves a win for this return run. So, for that reason, I just don't believe that the feud between Chris Jericho and CM Punk is over. Then we get a ridiculous, I'm a fan of the Funkasaurus as well. I think it's one of the better face gimmicks WWE has done in a long time. And it certainly is something that we never saw at all, or expected to see. That's what I mean to say. But it was a ridiculous filler segment with quote-unquote Mama Clay and the Bridge Club and a bunch of dancing. I mean, I understand that you wanted to give Brodus Clay a WrestleMania moment because he's going to be one of your big future players, but you could have found a better way to do that. Heck, I would have rather seen another squash match with Brodus Clay than that ridiculous dance segment. Made me sick to my stomach almost. And I just forgot where they were, and it's not on the results that I was looking at, so I do want to backtrack and talk about the Hall of Famers coming out to the ring. That's always one of the great moments of WrestleMania, and the #1 twin in the world last night, deservingly so, was #ThankYouEdge. So, an amazing moment there. Tearful moment for Edge, as it should have been. And then, of course, finally, after 1 year of, gotta say, amazing build. I had so much doubt when they first did it, but it was an amazing build. Rock versus Cena, once in a lifetime, and shockingly enough, for hardcore wrestling fans who know that The Rock isn't going to be around long term after WrestleMania, The Rock gets the victory over John Cena, and it was a great match. For The Rock being gone for 8 years in one-on-one competition, it was an amazing match. Cena rose his game to a whole nother level. Back and forth action. I think I counted like 6 false finishes, at least 5, if not 6. And in the end, The Rock wins it with the rock bottom. Amazing moment for The Rock. You gotta wonder, are the rumors true? Is this feud not over? John Cena obviously is not gonna settle well with losing to The Rock. Is this feud not over? Are we gonna see it again at SummerSlam or at WrestleMania next year? We'll have to wait and see. And now, of course, we turn our attention to tonight and the rumors all throughout the weekend. Is Brock Lesnar, in fact, in Miami? Did he, in fact, sign with WWE? Are we, in fact, going to see something similar to what we saw from Triple H last year acknowledging Undertaker? Are we going to see Undertaker do that? Are we going to see Undertaker try to announce his retirement? And then maybe Brock Lesnar comes out and says, no, you have one more guy you got to prove. yourself with? Or is Brock Lesnar perhaps going to face The Rock? Is The Rock perhaps going to come out and brag over beating John Cena, calling himself the greatest of all time, and then Brock Lesnar comes out and says, you're not the greatest of all time till you beat me? Because remember, Brock Lesnar beat The Rock for the Undisputed Championship in one of Brock's last big original run moments. So there's a lot of possibilities for Brock Lesnar. Will we see him tonight? I hope so, because whether you like the 1 year guys or not, Brock Lesnar is one of the few that deserves to be that guy. After everything, especially after everything he's done in UFC on top of what he did in WWE. So yeah, can't wait for Raw tonight. A truly, truly amazing WrestleMania. 100%, $1,000,000% better than last year. So good. Hashtag WrestleMania, great moment in history. This is reality according to the Razman and Razman style. It's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.